Cryptex here. I don't have a microphone, so I don't know if my sound is good. You can see Cripsy at my back. So Canada is starting to get cold. Winter is coming. I can feel the winter coming. Just gonna wait a couple of seconds, guys, for you, just to see if someone is here. This is gonna be quick and fast. So I can see one person here, so it's enough. So just gonna talk about two live streamings I was watching yesterday. One was the case-by-case channel. She was talking about Patrick Westphal with She-Books. It was interesting. And also there was a live streaming that was made by Sleuth Intuition about the car that we can see passing at 2:44 at the security camera. I think that camera is in the Sandy Force house, let's say. Anyways, hey, Jenny's there. How are you, Jenny? Happy to have you here. So I'm gonna start by the case-by-case streaming. It was interesting. I think that every single angle of this case is interesting. They were talking about Odinis. I don't subscribe to that theory. To me, it doesn't make sense. I don't see how, if you are part of an Odinism group, you are gonna commit that crime like you're announcing that you were the one committing the crime. Like everything that is related to Brad Holder posting stuff in Facebook, runes, that famous picture where we can see two girls with a branch, like mimicking the crime scene picture. Like, if you are the killer, if you are smart, you're not gonna announce the murders. You know what I mean? I can understand if someone is framing the Odinists, okay, that I can understand. But Odinists themselves doing this, I don't see it. That's my point. A person who has a very interesting ideas about that is Eve from True Crime with Eve. I'm gonna do a collaboration with her tomorrow night. So if you can be with us, it's gonna cool. So please join us. But anyways, I think every door is still open here. So I like people still digging in those angles because, again, there are a lot of unanswered questions here. The other channel or the other streaming I was watching yesterday was one made by Sleuth Intuition. Actually, I agree with him in some of his ideas. I share part of his ideas. Other ideas he has, I'm not in the same line with him. And one of them is the one he was presenting yesterday about the security camera timing. Basically, what he was saying yesterday is that since the phone of Libby's phone, stopped recording steps at 2:32 p.m., for him, this is like a ratification or a confirmation that Brad Weber's van passed exactly at that time, and that was supported by the Richard Allen's confession. And because of that, he says that the camera, we can see that the timestamp is 2:44 p.m. He says that that's not the actual timing, that the camera is off by 13 minutes. But to me, that doesn't make sense. It's like you're trying to fit the time difference in that security camera to your theory, right? What I understand is that the 2:44 p.m. timing or timestamp is the most likely actual time, because the Brad Weber's phone was pinging at his house at around 2:50 to 51 p.m. So actually, he was detected, or his van was detected by the camera at 2:44 and not at 2:32. So that destroys the timeline of the state. So it doesn't add up. So to me, again, I think 2:44 is actually most likely the time at which the van was spotted. So to me, there's no 13 minutes difference, as Lut was saying yesterday. To me, I disagree with him in that point. Hello, Rebecca. Also, now we have the Libby's phone data, and one creator that is doing a very good work with that information is Daisy asks Amy, and she has a great point. She shows that the battery depletion, the cell phone battery, starts to decrease dramatically at around 228 to 232. So that could be consistent with the cell phone being in contact with water or with a cold surface. So if they were crossing the creek at around 2:32 and the van was actually passing after that moment at 2:44, that indicates again that the state's theory is not correct, is bad. So those are the two things I wanted to talk to you guys very quick. I don't know if someone has any comment or any question in the comment section. Again, tomorrow I'm gonna be with Eve, a great creator. I love her. So we're gonna be streaming tomorrow together. So I'm gonna stay here like one more minute waiting for any comment, any question. If there are no, I'm just gonna say bye-bye. Take advantage to show you some trouble here. Hey, say hello to the guys, Scripsy. She's happy at the park. Hey, hello, USA Libertarian. How are you? Happy to have you here. Long time no see. What's going on with you? You're hard to find. Chester, if they did cross the creek, how do you still have her in the girl's hand? I think we don't know exactly what happened after the girls crossing the creek. If both of them crossed the creek, because one of them could just run across the creek. Maybe one of the perpetrators went after her, let's say Libby, and maybe the other perpetrator, he abducted Abby. To me, that's a possibility. So again, there's a lot of how can I call this? How can I say it properly? Initial conditions that we don't know yet. And again, I'm just speculating here. I'm not saying that that is the actual situation, but think about when you're studying maths. Hey, Rukus El Jefe, how are you, Rukus? Happy to have you here, man. Rukus rocks. I hope your health is improving. The other time you were telling us that you had some problems, so I wish you the best, man. So think about maths. You know, you need some initial conditions to solve an equation, right? So if the initial conditions are not correct, the result of that equation is not going to be correct again. To do a prediction, to predict what's going to happen in the future, you need to know exactly what are the conditions at the present time. You know what I mean? And to me, there are a lot of initial conditions that we just don't know. We are assuming, and that's my point. I don't know if I'm being clear here, but anyways, again, to me, in this specific point, I think Sleuth is wrong. To me, there's no time difference. 13 minutes difference is not the case. Based on the time the Brad Weber's van was pinging at his home, at his house. What else? Any questions? Chester here. Toffer, how are you, Toffer? I think Toffer is in Australia, right? Chester, it's interesting. Richard Allen doesn't have any motive compared to third-party culprits. 100%. We don't know what was the motive if Richard Allen was the perpetrator. We really don't know. There's no indication of CSAM activity in the devices of Richard Allen. There was no sexual attack, no DNA linking Allen to the crime. I'm not saying that the DNA doesn't belong to him, but they couldn't demonstrate the provenance of the DNA, right? So I understand. Yeah, I agree. The motive is not clear, and to me, to understand the crime and to have answers here, we need to understand the motive, and I don't see any motive when we talk about Richard Allen. And again, you know that I think he's involved. Not a popular opinion here in my channel, but today we don't know what is the motive of this crime. Ghost. I'm not saying Richard Allen is innocent, but they prove he's guilty at all? It didn't. Yeah, that's my point. I agree with you. If I'm one of the jurors, I'm never gonna vote guilty, even if I believe that he's involved, because there was no proof and there was a lot of reasonable doubt. I agree with you in that point. To me, the fair verdict would be not guilty, and to me there was no evidence to convict Richard Allen. I agree with you guys. Toffer, there's still a lot that doesn't add up, of course. That's why you are still talking about that crime, because go. Because yeah, nothing's adding up. I agree with you 100%. RC99, I like to see on a map the long way to get to the north side of the creek. What do you mean? Was Keegan Klein a smoke screen? No. To me, Keegan Klein is... everything points to Keegan Klein. Even remember also that after the conviction of Richard Allen, we have another video, the same security camera we were talking about. But at 2:07 p.m., we can see a car entering into the private drive and going off, if it's the same car, it aligns with the Keegan Klein's confession. It's, 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 it's like a perfect alignment there. Forget about no, don't forget, but take into consideration the confession of Keegan Klein at the Grissom Air Force Base, where he talks about him being at the cemetery, waiting there for other two people committing the crime. And now we have a car passing in front of the security camera of the Sandy Force at 2:07 p.m. Like, was Keegan Klein? I don't know. And you know, I'm not gonna repeat my whole speech about the Kleins, but for sure he was not just a smoke screen. To me, it's evident, and every single day, every single piece of information we learn every day points again to the Keegan Klein's involvement. Come on here. Come on. Now, you know, to me, the holy grail of this case is the Dropbox of Keegan Klein. Someone with power in that town, someone close to law enforcement, someone close to the politicians there are involved in that Dropbox, and that's why he was not charged with the crime. To me, there was a negotiation, a deal between Keegan and law enforcement. Clearly, that's how I see this case. Let me see. Shay Watson, how are you, Shay? I'm so sorry. I know I'm so late. I have to answer to your emails. I read your emails. Very, very interesting information there about yourself, and we're gonna do something with that. Promise. Shay Watson, it's not him they protect. It's themselves and other high-profile persons. Of course, again, that's my point. It's the Dropbox. That's the whole. It's the holy grail of this crime. The Dropbox. Who is being protected by those guys? You know, it's. That's the whole point here. Is to me, it's like clear as crystal. And let's not talk about the Marathon gas station security video that was lost. How convenient. Let's not talk about the Wabash River search. So, yeah. Gonna see if you have any other question here, guys, or not. This was just a quick live. And okay, remember, Robin, 100%. What do you mean 100%? Or I don't know, guys, what do you think? I want to see some action in the comments before leaving. Robin agree with the Dropbox, you mean? I don't know. RC99. Interesting that Keegan Klein was not just selling existing CSAM. I think his hobby was catfishing, and turn it into a business. I think this is a misconception here. Of course, he was catfishing, but the catfishing situation with Keegan Klein is not only about obtaining nudes. And again, remember the announcement of the Indiana State Police when they were talking about Anthony Shots. It was clear that in that announcement that Anthony Shots was a fake profile, who was contacting persons or people, underage girls, to obtain nudes to obtain their addresses and to attempt to meet with them. So Keegan Klein was someone who was actually in action, physically, trying to meet people, trying to harm people. He was not just behind the cell phone or behind the computer asking for nudes. His modus operandi was totally different, and no one seems to agree with me in that point, but there are a lot of indications that Keegan was actually a sick person with a sick fantasy. He had a fantasy of cutting throats. Again, remember the Kaila's story? I can kidnap you, I can cut your throat, and I will watch you bleed out. Who says something like that? A fucking psychopath. But yeah, his image of a fat guy, like not being able to move, makes people think that he's just a lazy ass behind the screen, and I disagree 100% with that. Mary Beanie, Hail Mary, how are you? An addicted co-conspirator, how are you? You are making good points, thank you for that. Shay, I don't think Richard will ever get his life back. No, of course no. He could walk free today, but he will never really be free. I don't even think that he's gonna walk free. I don't think the appealing process is gonna happen. It's very unlikely. But I mean the outcome. But I would like to have a successful appealing process to be able to find some answers here. Topher. Ghost. I just felt like if the Dropbox theory was true, there would be a video of this crime existing somewhere. The Dropbox is not only about a video. The Dropbox is about people with power being involved with CSAM. So let's say, just for the sake of the discussion, if but the major of Delphi at the time was part of that bunch of perverts, forget about the video. It's just the name, you know? It's just the people being part of that Dropbox. You don't need a snuff video circulating in the dark web or in the internet to confirm the Dropbox theory. It's not about that. They could just be there taking pictures, and they printed the pictures and they went to Vegas to give the pictures to a sick, pervert, rich guy. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm making myself clear, but the whole thing is about the Dropbox. It's not about the existence of a video in the dark web, let's say. An addicted co-conspirator. Never free and certainly never whole. Shay Watson, someone with a camera recording it happening or taking pictures, not necessarily recording. I don't know. An addicted. And the Dropbox feels like the Nexus. Well, the Nexus is the confession of Keegan Klein. You have an official confession. If that's not Nexus, I don't know. And there's a Nexus when we talk about Ron Logan. He was fabricating his alibi. The girls were found at his property. So what's a Nexus? What's the definition of a Nexus? I don't know. Simdal, oh my God, finally. I thought you were mad to me. What's going on with you, one of my favorite moderators here? Finally, he's back. Keegan Klein was in Vegas the very next day, yeah, exactly. Okay, guys. Now that Simdal is here, I'm gonna say bye-bye. Just to pay him back with the same coin. Just kidding, Simdal. Happy to have you here again. I don't know if I'm gonna go live tonight. If not, anyways, we have a show tomorrow with True Crime with Eve. So stay in touch, guys. Thank you for being here and see you later or tomorrow. Ciao. But before leaving, say hello to Cripsy. Cripsy, say bye-bye. Say bye-bye to the guys. Come on. Say bye-bye to the guys. Ah, pereza. Okay, see you guys. Ciao.